just because I want to make sure that it's up and running. And so, so that's what I was having an issue with. Let me double check this really quick. So that's what I was having an issue with. Very good. Okay. Sure, if anybody did join in, that they could actually appreciate this instead of it having a mature reading, because it doesn't need that. There we are. All right. So with this, I'll be teaching myself essentially. So if you're joining along, thank you for joining. In the meantime, I'm basically trying to make sure that I pick back up my French because I stopped learning French in order to work, but I stopped progressing. So I was having some trouble, some issues. So this way, I'm going to be able to keep making progress by sharing it with everybody who wants to stay involved. There you go. Sorry, headphones were having an issue here just now. Don't know if I'm going to use these headphones now because they're creating an issue. It's weird. They were perfectly fine, but unless they have audio, they consistently want to shut off. You know what? Don't exactly need headphones. We can unplug these. We should be fine without them. Make sure desktop audio is on. I want to make sure that things can be heard. Let's test this really quick. It is not coming through desktop audio properties. Sound profile.
Le passé simple. Le passé simple.
You can hear and everybody can hear. Lovely. All right. So, without further ado, I think I've waited long enough. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, I would like to start things off with some reading comprehension because that's usually what I like to do. I like to read things and then see what it is that I don't quite understand and go from there. So, we can always start at a beginner level or we can start at an advanced level. I typically like to push myself with going at an advanced level just to make sure that I'm picking up information and going from there. So let's take a look at one of these and see the difference. So we have the text and questions and we have translation. I love the site Lingually Français. So if you've never used a site to teach yourself a language, Lingually is a good way to do so, especially for some basic languages. They have like translations for everybody down here in case you speak a specific language like Spanish. Let's see. Okay, so this is going to be the reading material, and then this is the questionnaire at the bottom here, in which case we can fill things in to confirm what it is that we're looking at. J'aime mes amis, in which case we say S and A, Z, mes amis, because it's the liaison. J'aime mes amis les animaux. Je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille, le chat Pierrot, Martine, qui est encore toute petite, et Hector, le chien géant. Now, I like to have a dictionary installed on my browser just to help me with understanding words that I'm looking at. So I'm pretty sure this is a name here, so I don't need to worry about that one. Je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille. Partage. So to me, that sounds like they're leaving. So let's verify. Partage. Sharing. Ah, so they share. So they partake. Partage. Je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille. Le chat Bureau. Fearful. The fearful cat. So I imagine this is the cat up here in this little box. You know, let's zoom in a little bit. Maybe it's easier to see this way. Martine, qui est encore tout petite. So probably Martine right here. Et Hector, le chien géant. Giant dog. Chien is dog. Oh. Thought I had French selected. And let's make sure we set by default. Dog. Mes compagnons à quatre pattes. Pattes. Paws. My companions to 4 feet, 4 paws, sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience. Okay, so there's a little bit going on in this sentence. My companions of 4 paws are very kind, très gentil, nice, very nice, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience. But they, ils is they, so if you don't know the, wow, what are they called again? The noun, I believe it is, oof, it's been so long since I've studied the languages that even just basic grammar names and titles are throwing me off. But yeah, if you don't know, ils is a they. Usually il is he and ils is they. Now you can also have ELLES for elles as well, which would be they as well, but it's the feminine they. Mais is but. Mais ils me font parfois. Let's take a look at font. Make, to make, do make, they make. Okay. They me make parfois, sometimes perdre patience. Okay, so sometimes they make me lose my patience, is what this is saying. So let's start it from the beginning again. My companions to 4 paws are very nice, but they me make sometimes lose patience. Perdre is to lose. So sometimes they make me lose my patience. Let's read these 2 sentences together again, just so we can hear, like 3 sentences, my bad. These 3 sentences again, just to hear what they sound like. J'ai mes amis, les animaux. Je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille, le chat Piro, Martine, qui est encore tout petit, et Hector, le chien géant. Mes compagnons à 4 pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience. So let's go ahead and hear this from the translator as well to see how close I got it. And
J. Mes Amos les Animos. J. Partage don mon apparutement avec Griboul, le chat Poureuse, Martine, qui est encore tout petit, et Hector, le chien géant. Mes compagnons à 4 pattes sont très gentils mais ils me font parfois perdre patience.
okay, no, to be in French. So I guess it was having some trouble with understanding that. Yeah, it didn't give me this option. So let's just listen to this part. J'ai mes amis les animaux.
J'aime mes amis les animaux.
That's better. That's much better. Je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille. Let's hear this one.
Je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille.
Gribouille. Yeah, that's right. Don't forget to have the R sound makes the ech. Partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille. That's my problem. I don't make that sound. Le chat Perrault, Martine qui est encore tout petite. Let's hear that.
Le chat peureux, Martine, qui est encore toute petite.
Le chat Perrault, Martine qui est encore tout petite. Now we have et Hector le chien géant.
Et Hector, le chien géant.
Et Hector. That's right, because we don't pronounce the H. In French, we do not pronounce the H. Et Hector le chien géant.
Et Hector, le chien géant.
Mes we don't have the liaison here, so we don't need to do the Z sound. Mes compagnons à quatre pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience.
Mes compagnons à quatre pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience.
Okay, so there's something there that I did not do whenever I was reading it a second ago. Mes compagnons à quatre pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience.
Mes compagnons à quatre pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience.
À quatre pattes. Mes compagnons à quatre pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience. Perdre patience. Let me hear that again.
Perdre patience.
Perdre patience. Perdre patience. Okay, let's move on to the next one, and we'll translate it at the same time as we're reading it. Le soir, ils se conduisent comme des enfants et refusent d'aller dormir. Okay, so the night they conduisent, let's verify that, lead. So lead, drive, conduct, take, carry, run, steer, handle, shepherd, herd, induct, show out, show. Okay. At night, they conduct like some enfants, so like children, et refusant d'aller dormir. Okay, so I have it now. Le soir, ils se conduisent comme des enfants et refusant d'aller dormir. This is at the night they act like children and refuse to go to sleep. So let's take a look at the translation and the sound. In the evening, they behave like children and refuse to go to sleep.
Le soir, ils se conduisent comme des enfants et refusent d'aller dormir.
Le soir, ils se conduisent. Ah, that's right, because the conjugation, we do not say ENT at the end. So we don't say conduisant, we say conduisent. Comme des enfants liaison, des enfants et refusent d'aller dormir. Let's hear it again.
Le soir, ils se conduisent comme des enfants et refusent d'aller dormir.
Le soir, ils se conduisent comme des enfants et refusent d'aller dormir. Okay. Ils font alors tous les bêtises possible et imaginables. Okay, so let's take a look at some words here just to verify. So we understand that this is to do, so they do. Alors is, verify over here. So, it's another version of so, then, yet, or here. So, alors, toutes les bêtises, over to here, let's translate this. Stupidity, foolishness, foolery, rot, blather, bosh, balderdash, tripe, tosh, tommy rot, treppery. Possibles, possible et imaginable. Okay. So, they do, so, all the stupidity possible and imaginable. So they do everything bad as possible. So let's take a look at the exact translation just to verify. They then do all the nonsense possible and imaginable. Let's go ahead and hear this.
Ils font alors toutes les bêtises possibles et imaginables.
Ils font alors toutes les bêtises possibles et imaginable. Imaginable. It's difficult to remember to say these things properly. Let me hear it one more time.
Ils font alors toutes les bêtises possibles et imaginables.
Ils font alors toutes les bêtises possibles et imagined. I want to hear just this word because I seem to have a problem with it.
Imaginable.
Imaginable. Imaginable. So this is how I force myself to correct how I pronounce things. I listen to it and then I try to get it as closely as possible. Sometimes this doesn't work for people who can't properly hear themselves, but it's my best method for helping me.
Imaginable.
Imaginable. Imaginable. Imaginable. Imaginable. Because it's muscle memory. We have to continuously do it. Et d'imagination, croyez-moi, il est non. Ils est non. Ils est non. Okay. And of the imagination, croyez-moi, c'est believe me, ils ont non. They have it. Okay. And the imagination, believe me, they have it. And imagination, believe me, they have.
Et de l'imagination, croyez-moi, ils en ont.
Et de l'imagination, croyez-moi, ils en ont.
Et de l'imagination, croyez-moi, ils en ont.
Imagination, sion. Et d'imagination, croyez-moi, ils en ont.
Et de l'imagination, croyez-moi, ils en ont.
Ils en ont. Ils en ont. Ils en ont. Pronunciation is the most difficult thing, and sometimes I do it fast just so I can try to figure out how to say it slower afterwards, because the faster I can get it to make it as close as possible to the real thing, because nobody's gonna speak French really slow, and if they do so, it's kind of weird because most people have phrases that they just spit out in French. Everything in French almost feels like muscle memory already because it's memorized phrases that they already have. So let's take a look at the next one here. And the reason that it's weird for them to speak slow is because the fact that whenever they do speak, they have these liaisons between every word that it's kind of necessary, because if you're not speaking properly, then people aren't going to understand you. So it's so weird. Like you have to memorize every word as a song. Hier soir, so last night, yesterday night, Hector a poursuivi, say this, prosecuted, pursued, poursuivi, le pauvre Gribouille dans tout l'appartement d'un aboyant très fort. Okay, so aboyant, let's verify that. Barking, okay, aboyant. Hier soir, yesterday night, Hector poursuive. Okay, so Hector, I believe we said Hector is le chien géant, big dog. Chased after Gribouille, the petite chat appear Poirot, pauvre, so the scared, the poor, no, poor, my bad, poor. It's like whenever you say poor so-and-so, like poor boy on the street, pauvre garçon sur la route. Right? Gribouille dans tout l'appartement en aboyant très fort. Okay. And barking very hard. Very strong. Okay. So we chased the cat through the apartment, barking very loud. Last night, Hector continued the poor scribble. That's funny. His name is a joke. It's so they call it mot de jouer. It's a word play, a word game, or is it jouer des mots? It might be mot de jouer or jouer des mots. And it's a word play basically. So the cat's name is Scribble, most likely because he's always a scaredy cat. Last night, Hector continued chased. Yeah, not continued. This is Google Translate doing this error. But last night, Hector chased the poor Guibuo gribouille in throughout the apartment, barking very hard. So the rest of this is fine, but just that one section is a little difficult to translate because of the name. All right. Oh, yeah, let's hear it. My bad.
Hier soir, Hector a poursuivi le pauvre gribouille dans tout l'appartement en aboyant très fort.
Pour lui, échapper, let's see that. Escape, slip, shave, wrap out. So pour lui échapper, Gribouille est entré dans la chambre, saute sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton. Okay, so sauter, let's verify this word for everybody. Jumped, sprung, a sauté sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton. So we can already kind of figure out what this says here based off of just known words in English. So caché is like a cache, right? 1 second. I should probably take a drink of water. So a cache is what we know, like majority wise, most people know it due to computers. So whenever you have a computer, you have to clear your cache, right? So if you clear your cache, what is cache? It's things that are hidden away, they're put away, they're saved, right? So if he's putting himself away, cache dans un carton, a carton is what? What do we call carton in English? We call like a carton of milk, right? So carton would be cardboard, carton, right? A sauté sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton. He jumped, he sprung on top of the armoire. Armoire is going to be the closet, the wardrobe right here. Et s'est caché, and he is caché. He is, or wait, should be he is, if I'm not mistaken. He was, okay, my bad. He was hidden in a carton, as we can see there. So let's go back to the beginning of the sentence. For him, échapper, to escape. For him escaping, the name, scribbles, is entrer dans la chambre. So is entering in the chamber, in the bedroom, and then jumps onto there. So let's take a look at this as translation. Oh. To escape him, Gribouille entered the room, jumped on the wardrobe, and hid in a box.
Pour lui échapper, Gribouille est entré dans la chambre, a sauté sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton.
Okay. Pour lui échapper. Let's take a look at this one.
Pour lui échapper.
Pour lui échapper, Gribouille est entré dans la chambre.
Gribouille est entré dans la chambre.
A sauté sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton.
A sauté sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton.
Heureusement qu'il... Ah, wait. My bad. I said heureusement, so it's just heureusement because we don't say the H. So here, let's hear this word.
Heureusement.
Heureusement. And I need to say it correctly too. Heureusement. Heureusement, fortunately. Qu'il n'a pas fait tomber la cintre. Cintre. Let's see that really quick. Hanger. Okay, hanger, arch. Cintre. À quelle ma chemise de nuit était suspendue. So, talking about the shirt that's suspended by the hanger. Okay, fortunately, qu'il. So let's take a look at the way that this one is. Fortunately, that he n'a pas. It's like to not, pas, do fall, and to not fall. The hanger aquel, to which aquel, ma chemise de nuit était suspendue. Fortunately, he did not make my hanger fall, holding my shirt. Fortunately, he did not drop the hanger to which my nightshirt was suspended. Ah, de nuit était. Okay, ma chemise de nuit, so nightshirt. So it's like a nightgown. Let's go ahead and hear this. Heureusement qu'il n'a pas fait tomber la cintre à laquelle ma chemise de nuit était suspendue. I said it again wrong. Heureusement qu'il n'a pas fait tomber la cintre à laquelle ma chemise de nuit était suspendue. Let's hear it correctly.
Heureusement qu'il n'a pas fait tomber le cintre auquel ma chemise de nuit était suspendue.
I hope it's not echoing too much. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm seeing the microphone levels jumping up and down. I hope it's okay for everybody. I do apologize if it's obnoxious. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Hector, frustré, a sauté sur le lit et s'est approprié ma couette. Okay, so, okay, frustré. I'm going to say that's frustrated. A sauté, sprung, jumped sur le lit, on the bed, and appropriate is to like take, appropriate, suitable, proper, relevant, form, appropriate. Ma comforter.
Couette.
Couette. Okay, so that's the proper way of saying it. Couette. Et mon oreiller.
Oreiller.
Oreiller. Gotta say it correctly.
Oreiller.
Oreiller sans aucun gêne.
Gêne.
Gêne. Okay, embarrassed. None embarrassed. Okay, so let's take a look at the entire here. Hector frustrated. So he's frustrated. He jumps on the bed to take the comforter and my pillow without being embarrassed. Okay, so let's take a look at full translation. Hector, frustrated, jumped on the bed and appropriated my duvet and my pillow without any discomfort. Not embarrassment, discomfort. So in this sentence, it appears that the word changes meaning a little bit just to convey the sentence. So, à 15 jours, without any discomfort. Let's hear the sentence.
Hector, frustré, a sauté sur le lit et s'est approprié ma couette et mon oreiller sans aucune gêne.
Hector, frustré, a sauté sur le lit et s'est approprié mon couette et mon oreiller sans aucune gêne. I want to hear that one.
Gêne.
Gêne, aucune gêne. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember these words. It's so weird. Even though I just heard them. Impossible de le faire descendre de là. Okay. Impossible to de le faire. Impossible of the doing, descending of that. Okay, that's a weird sentence for me, but let's take a look. Impossible to bring it down from there. Okay, so instead of giving him a title of like he, it's just assuming that we know what is already being talked about because of the sentence prior without giving indication of a noun. So that's interesting. That's weird. Impossible de le faire descendre de là. Impossible to bring it down from there.
Impossible de le faire descendre de là.
Le petit Martin, au milieu de tous ces cafards. Okay, that's an interesting word. Let's see it.
Capharnaüm.
Capharnaüm. Okay, it's exactly what I thought it was going to. Okay, Capharnaüm. Shambles. Okay. Au milieu de tous ces Capharnaüm, a s'est voulu y mettre son grain de sel et a pris mes pantoufles possibles. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this sentence here. The small Martine, so our little dog here, Martine, not Gribouille and not Hector, but Martine. Le petit Martine, a medium, to medium of all. Okay, that word again is shambles. To aussi, okay, so had also, has also voulu, desired, Okay, so it's a conjugation of want. So vous voulez, like voulu is desired. Okay. Y mettre, place sans grain de sel, a grain of salt, and a pris mes pantoufles, slippers for Target. Okay. So I feel like within this part of the sentence here, there's a small idiom, maybe, I think it is. So let's take a look and see at the translation because I think that what it's saying is just to add his own little grain of salt, his own problem to the mixture, he decided to make the slippers a target, and that's why the slipper over here is missing the bunny ears. So let's see. The little Martine, in the middle of all this shambles, also wanted to put her grain of salt in it, and took my slippers for target. So to put your grain of salt in it, it sounds like it's just to have like their own issue. They added into the mixture their own problem. I just want to double check something really quick on here. Okay. Still good. I'm going to hear this one more time real quick.
La petite Martine, au milieu de tout ce capharnaüm, a aussi voulu y mettre son grain de sel et a pris mes pantoufles pour cible.
Pantoufle possible. Pantoufle possible. Okay. I feel like I've heard this before just randomly, and I was having a moment of epiphany remembering something. Sorry about that. La petite Martine, au milieu de tout ce cafénon, a aussi voulu y mettre son grain de sel et pris mes pantoufles possibles. Mais je suis bien plus roussier que tous les trois réunis, et j'ai une méthode imparable pour les faire sortir de la chambre. Okay. But I am good, more rusé. I am well more cunning, well more crafty, that all the three réunis gathered. Okay, réunis. Gather, assemble, reunite, muster, amass, round up, quarrel, scratch. See, I think reunite would be more close to this as in like an English translation, but in this context, I could assume gathered more or combined. Réunis, et j'ai, and I have a method imparable, unstoppable. Okay, imparable. Pour les faire sortir de la chambre. Okay, to do leaving the bedroom. So to get them to leave. She's got a method. So let's take a look and see. Let's verify. But I am much more cunning than all three gathered, and I have an unstoppable method to get them out of the room. Mais je suis bien plus rusé que tous les trois réunis, et j'ai une méthode imparable pour les faire sortir de la chambre. Let's go ahead and hear it.
Mais je suis bien plus rusé que tous les trois réunis et j'ai une méthode imparable pour les faire sortir de la chambre.
Mais je suis bien plus rusé. I want to hear this word specifically.
Rusé.
Rusé. I'm saying it wrong. I've been saying it wrong. Okay. Mais je suis bien plus rusé que tous les trois réunis. I need to hear this word too.
Réunis.
Réunis. Rusé. Oh God.
Rusé.
Réunis.
Réunis.
Rusé. This is how I learn. I go back and forth until it's muscle memory. Mais je suis bien plus rusé que tous les trois réunis, et j'ai une méthode imparable pour les faire sortir de la chambre. Let's hear it one more time correctly instead of just me saying it.
Mais je suis bien plus rusé que tous les trois réunis et j'ai une méthode imparable pour les faire sortir de la chambre.
Le réveil. Oh, The reveal, yes. Can't forget that. I skipped that out of the context here because I thought it was going into another sentence much longer. My bad. The reveal. Oh, not reveal. It's the alarm clock. Okay.
Le réveil.
Le réveil. Alarm clock. Le réveil. 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 Say it right.
Réveil.
Réveil. Dès qu'ils entendent la sonnerie. Sonnerie, or is it son? Strident. Okay. I think it's sonne. It's the sound, but ringing.
Sonnerie.
Sonnerie. Sonnerie. Okay. Dès qu'ils entendent la sonnerie stridente, ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair. Okay. So the ringing, strident ringing, shrill ringing, strong ringing, ear splitting. Okay.
Stridente.
Strident. Okay. These are good vocabulary words here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this entire sentence here, because ils s'enfuient à la vitesse. It's a strong de l'éclair. Run away at lightning speed. Okay, so that part I wasn't 100% certain on. I don't hear the word l'éclair very often, but it has to do with lightning. I don't know how else to explain it. Lightning, yeah. It's weird because clair is like saying that something is see-through, shiny. It's like plus clair, right? It's a weird word that I'm not used to, but let's go ahead and hear the entire thing correctly.
Dès qu'ils entendent la sonnerie stridente, ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair.
Dès qu'ils entendent la sonnerie stridente, ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair.
Dès qu'ils entendent la sonnerie stridente, ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair.
Okay, so on this one, I'm going to need to take this one step at a time. Dès qu'ils,
Dès qu'ils,
the liaison. Oh, there we go.
dès qu'ils entendent,
Dès qu'ils entendent la sonnerie stridente, dès qu'ils entendent
la sonnerie stridente,
la sonnerie stridente, ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair.
ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair.
Ah, I'm doing it again. I'm saying the NT. Pas nécessaire.
Ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair.
Ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair. Ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair. They run away at lightning speed. Enfuient. Run away. Ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair. Ouf. Dès qu'ils entendent le sonnerie strident, ils s'enfuient à la vitesse de l'éclair. That's much better. I said it much better that time. Je n'ai plus qu'à fermer la porte et tirer les rideaux avant de me glisser dans mon lit. Okay. I haven't more. I don't have more qu'à fermer. That's to close the door et tirer le rideau avant de me glisser. Okay, whew. Let's take a look here. Tirer, to pull, and pull les rideaux. That should be the curtains, right? Yeah, okay. Tirer, to pull the curtains, avant, before, me glisser, slide, run, skid, slide, dans mon lit, in my bed. Okay, so I don't have to do anything more than close the curtains of my window just to be able to get in my bed, is what she's saying, I think. I just have to close the door and pull the curtains before slipping into my bed. Okay. It's weird because I just have to close the door. Je n'ai plus qu'à fermer la porte. I just have to. I don't. That's got to be colloquialism because directly translating that is interesting. Je n'ai plus. It's like I have no more. But here they're saying I just have. Je n'ai plus. I have no more. Qui est fermé. I just have to. Okay. Let me see this really quick because I don't have any more. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a colloquialism. Je n'ai plus. I don't have any more. What to close. Que fermer. What to fermer. Just have. That's a colloquialism. Ne plus qu'il a. Just have. Qu'il a.
N'est plus qu'à.
Ne plus qu'à. Ne plus qu'à. Not qu'il a. Ne plus qu'à. Okay. Je n'ai plus que à fermer. I don't need to say again. Je n'ai plus qu'à fermer la porte et tirer les rideaux avant de me glisser dans mon lit. Let's hear it all together.
Je n'ai plus qu'à fermer la porte et tirer les rideaux avant de me glisser dans mon lit.
Enfin seul. Finally alone. Yep. Enfin seul. Let's take a look. Oh.
Enfin seul.
Enfant seul. Enfant seul.
Enfin seul.
Enfant seul. Is it fin or enfant?
Enfin seul.
Enfant seul. Okay. Sometimes I feel like I hear things that aren't really there. Je peux lire comme quelques pages du roman posé sur mon table de nuit et m'endormir tranquillement. I can sleep to calm with pages of book posé that's sitting laid on my table of night, so my nightstand, et m'endormir tranquillement. And I sleep tranquilly. I sleep peacefully. I can read in a calm a few pages of the novel posed on my bedside table and fall asleep quietly. Je peux lire comme quelques pages du roman posé sur ma table de nuit et m'endormir tranquillement.
Je peux lire au calme quelques pages du roman posé sur ma table de nuit et m'endormir tranquillement.
Je peux lire comme quelques pages du roman posé sur ma table de nuit et m'endormir tranquillement. J'espère seulement ne pas rêver d'une visite à zoo. I hope, seulement, only, ne pas, I hope only not to dream of visiting a zoo, because her house is already a zoo, so she hopes not to dream of living in a zoo. Okay, j'espère. I only hope not to dream of a visit to the zoo. J'espère seulement ne pas rêver. Is it rêver? Yeah, rêver d'une visite au zoo.
J'espère seulement ne pas rêver d'une visite au zoo.
Au zoo. It's necessary for me to make sure I get that right. Au zoo. Comprehension questions. Okay, adjective. Malin. Let's see. Find words in the text that have the same or similar meanings as the word below. Oof. Okay. Malin. Clever. So was there a word in here that we had that meant clever? She said that she was clever at one point. She said that she was smarter than the three of them. Mais je suis plus rusé que tous les trois réunis. Right? Rusé, cunning. So let's copy this. Rusé. Gaffe, énergie. What is this word here? Blunder. Stupid. Okay, so which one of these was stupid before. I believe it was this one. No, Hector was stupid. Approprié à qui un genre, okay. Je suis mes compagnons quatre. Okay, I'm going to read through this really fast. I'm going to probably say it badly. J'ai mes amis les animaux, je partage donc mon appartement avec Gribouille, le chat Puro, Martine qui est encore tout petit, et Hector le chien jaune. Mes compagnons à quatre pattes sont très gentils, mais ils me font parfois perdre patience. Le soir, ils se conduisent comme des enfants et refusant d'aller dormir. Ils font alors tout le petit foolishness. Okay, this is a foolishness. Possible d'imagine et de l'imagination, croyez-moi, ils en ont. Il soit Hector poursuivre le pauvre Gribouille dans tous les formes d'un voyant très fort pour lui échapper. Gribouille est entré dans la chambre, sauté sur l'armoire et s'est caché dans un carton, heureusement qu'il n'a pas fait tomber la cintre à laquelle ma chemise de nuit était suspendue. Hector frustré a sauté sur le lit et s'est approprié ma couette et mon oreiller sans aucune jambe. Impossible de le faire descendre de là. La petite Martine a mieux de toutes ces cafarnums a si voulu y mettre son grain de sel. Wait, this right here. Shambles. Okay, no, that's the shambles. That word is still weird to me. Pantoufle possible. Okay. Mais je suis bien plus réussi. Okay, so I think what we're looking for is this word right here. Stupidity, bêtise. So let's copy that word. Bêtise. Ah, green means it's good. Okay. Insatisfait, déçu. Okay. This is too many requests. No. Okay, so it has too many requests. That's fine. I have Google Translate open on the side here. Insatisfait, dissatisfied. I wonder, can I still? Nope, can't hear it. All right. That's all right. I have this.
Insatisfait.
Insatisfait, dissatisfied, and déçu. Copy.
Déçu.
Disappointed. Okay, so insatisfait, disappointed. I believe that might be frustré, because we had frustré before. That's not because that was working really well and then it stopped. Okay, so frustré,
Frustre.
frust. Very good. Okay. And then we have Sudik. Well, it's just going to immediately go to the translation now.
Suraigu.
Sudaigu, note. Verify high pitched. Okay, so high pitched was the sonnerie or strident. I think it was strident. Verify really quick. Shrill. Strident is the shrill. Let's try that. No, it's not strident. Okay, so it's got to be the. No? Okay. If it's not. No, it's got to be strident. Yeah, it is. Okay. It lied to me. How dare it? That was very mean of it. Okay. S'impeller de s'ajouger. Okay, I'm not sure about that one either, so let's take a look on here. To be awarded.
s'adjuger,
s'adjuger, awarded. And the other one, s'imperer.
s'emparer,
S'emparer, to seize. Wait. To seize or to be awarded? Okay. Where were they rewarded in this? I don't think. Okay, so she won the ability to go back to her bed by herself. Hector frustré sauté sur le lit. Non, ok, non. Mais je suis bien plus rusé que tous les trois réunis et j'ai une méthode imparable pour les faire sortir de la chambre. La réveil, dès qu'il entend son instru dans son vitesse de l'éclair, je n'ai plus qu'à fermer la porte et tirer les rideaux avant de me glisser dans mon lit. Ah, is it? No. Enfant seul, je peux lire comme quelques pages. Non, c'est pas une page du roman posée sur ma table de nuit et m'endormir tranquillement. J'espère seulement ne pas rêver. To be able to win something. Okay, so we're looking for something that says to win or to gain. Let me verify these both really quick. So, s'emparer,
s'emparer de, s'adjuger,
to seize. It's to seize. Okay, to take. Oh no, Hector Frosset a sauté sur le lit et s'est approprié. Approprié. It's approprié. Because he appropriated. Voilà. No? C'est pas ça? Okay, so it's not approprié. Couette et mourir sans aucun jour. Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave it as that, and then we'll find out what it is at the very end, because at the very end, it'll tell us exactly what we missed. So let's take a look at the next one here. Gigantesque. I'm going to assume it's géant. How did they spell it in French? Hector le chien géant. Géant. Yes, okay. Infallible. Infallible. So let's grab the translation really quick just to verify.
infaillible,
It is foolproof, reliable, guaranteed.
infaillible,
Infaillible. Okay, so foolproof, foolproof. She was saying something was foolproof whenever she was talking about her plan. Da, 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 da. Attends. Une méthode imparable. Imparable. Yes. Okay. Calm. Calm is tranquille. No? Da, 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 da. Perseverance. So something that is calm and perseverance. Okay, I really thought it was Twinkie. Let's verify really quick.
calme, persévérance,
Calm perseverance. Okay, so it's just to persevere. Student Sinfield, vitesse de l'éclair, glisser d'esprit et fonçant. Non, method imparable, sphère, qui est en tendance. Okay, I want to just verify this really quick. Hear, yeah, okay, entendant is just to hear, so if anybody wants to hear that one really quick.
entende,
Entendre. Um, calm and persevere. Soit elle se conduisent comme des enfants. Ah, perhaps it's not about being calm or persevering. It's about going after. Because he poursuivre. So we're going to try this one. Ah, mais non. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't want to waste too much time. I'm just going to keep that as my answer. And I know I'm wrong, but we will verify after. Pour chasser. Oh,
Pourchasser.
pour chasser is to pursue, hunt down. So that would be the other word that we were just looking at. So this one is completely wrong. But you know what? Let's check and see what we have. Okay. So, s'approprier. Ah, that's interesting. Because this says c'est approprié, ma couette. It doesn't say, this does not say this in the actual thing. So we found an issue with the reading material. Okay. But patience, that would make sense. I believe that we had patience on here. It was used in a different context, though, wasn't it? Wait, perdre de patience, used in a different context. So that threw me off because it was a different context. That happens, though. Okay. And poursuivre. So we copied it directly from the context of the paper here, but it wanted me to write it like this. So that's kind of insulting. It seemed like everything was fine, and it decided to go against me. But that's okay. We pretty much understood. But this one, I will give it. I will accept number 8 as me being wrong. 5 and 9, though, I don't accept. That's okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and jump to doing some understanding to read and learn a little bit more. So we did a reading comprehension test to start, which is great. It's a good way to start out the day. Let's jump to learning about something specific. For today, let's take it from the top. We'll do present tense verbs. What is le présent? The present tense in French grammar, le présent corresponds to the English simple present. It talks about facts, current situations, and repeated actions in the present, as well as scheduled future actions. To conjugate a verb in the French present tense, we add specific endings to the infinitive of the verb, depending on whether it ends in er, ir, or re. Learn all about le présent French right here. So we have these different sections, but let's see here. Let's just read this. Je m'appelle Félix. Tous les mardis, je m'entraîne à jouer aux échecs. So he plays chess. He trains in chess. We can verify this here. His name is Felix, and every mardi, so if you don't know the days of the week, we have lundi, mardi, so that's Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I entraîne à jouer. I train to play of chess. I will. Oh, we can actually play this one here. But let's finish reading everything. Le cours de 17 heures et 19 heures. So if you don't know your numbers, we say 10, and 7. 17. 7 is 7. 17 heures. à 19, 10 et 9, 10 and 9, 19 fois. Les autres joueurs et joueuses sont très sympathiques. The other players and that's right. Joueur et joueuse, it's the male and feminine, are très sympathiques, so they have much sympathy. J'ai joué à échecs depuis 5 ans, so he's been playing chess since he was 5 years old. Or, no, since 5 years. Not 5 years old, since 5 years. Vendredi prochain à 14 heures, j'ai participé à un concours de jeux d'échecs. J'espère gagner. Friday next, so next Friday at 2 o'clock, I participate to a concours de jeux d'échecs to play, to win. J'espère gagner. I hope to win.
Je m'appelle Félix. Tous les mardis, je m'entraîne à jouer aux échecs. Le cours a lieu de 17h à 19h. Les autres joueurs et joueuses sont très sympathiques. Je joue aux échecs depuis 5 ans. Vendredi prochain à 14h, je participe à un concours de jeux d'échecs. J'espère gagner.
Okay. And if you just want to see that really quick as, oh, can I just add this really quick? You know what, that's fine. Do it like this. So my name is Felix. Every Tuesday I practice chess. M'entraîne à jouer aux échecs. The class takes place from 5 to 7. The other players are very friendly. Les autres joueurs et joueuses sont très sympathiques. So that's a colloquialism for you to be able to visualize that. Les autres joueurs et joueuses sont très sympathiques. I've been playing chess for 5 years. Next Friday at 2 p.m., we're participating in a chess competition. I hope to win. Concours des jeux d'échecs. I want to see this word specifically because that's new for me. Competition. Okay, competition, contest, concurrence, trial.
Concours.
Concours. Concours. All right. We use the French present tense to express facts and ongoing situations in the present. Example, je m'appelle Félix. I am called Felix. Actions that happen once multiple times are never in the present. Tous les mardis, je m'entraîne à jouer aux échecs. Every Tuesday, I practice playing chess. Future action that is already planned or agreed upon requires a specific future time indicator. Vendredi prochain, à 14 heures, j'ai participé à un concours de jeux d'échecs. Next Friday at 2 p.m., I'm taking part in a chess competition. The duration of actions that started in the past and are ongoing in the present. Note, French uses the present tense to express this idea, but English talks about duration using the present perfect simple or continuous tenses. J'ai joué à échecs depuis 5 ans. I've been playing chess for 5 years. Here, j'ai joué, I have been playing, or I have played. How to conjugate the present tense in French. So we have the first person singular here, which is I, is, s, right? Second, you. Third, he, she, it. Plural, we, on, les on, on. In which case, usually we don't say too much of these. You'll see that you, is, they, and again, we don't say the ent, but the ends here for on or the ent. It's usually just to conjugate as a written. Verbs, we have the endings j'aime, je chante, you, tu aimes, tu chantes, he, she, it, il, elle, on aime, il, elle, on chante, oui, nous aimons, nous chantons, you, vous aimez, vous chantez, they, ils, elles aiment, ils, elles chantent. For verbs ending in ger, we add an e before the letter o in nous form in order to preserve the pronunciation of the g. Je mange, tu manges, il mange, nous mange, vous mangez, ils, elles mangent. And just in case, if you want to hear this really quick, the difference specifically, as I said, il mange, nous mange. Let me grab this for you. And we'll do this.
Nous mangeons.
Nous mangeons. And then what was the other one? It was il,
Il mange.
il mange. Il mange. This one here specifically. Il mange. They eat. So we do say the ONS, my bad. That was my fault. Sometimes I get the rules twisted in my head. I feel bad about that. For verbs ending in CER, the C becomes C before the letter O in the nous form in order to preserve pronunciation. So remember, it's a different pronunciation. Je lance. So it becomes tu lances, il, elle lance, nous lançons, vous lancez, ils lançons. So here, I'll give you this one. Actually, let's do both je lance.
Je lance.
And then we'll hear this one. So do je lance first.
Je lance. Nous lançons.
Lançons. For verbs ending in YER, the Y becomes an I in the singular form as well as in the third person plural. For verbs ending in AYER, we can write either I or Y. Envoyer, j'envoie, tu envoies, il envoie, nous envoyons, vous envoyez, ils, elles envoient. So let's hear these all really quick just to make sure we get.
J'envoie. Tu envoies. Il envoie. Nous envoyons. Vous envoyez. Ils, elles envoient.
Okay, I'm gonna read that back. J'envoie.
J'envoie. Tu envoies. Il envoie. Nous envoyons. Vous envoyez. Ils, elles envoient.
J'envoie. Tu envoies. Il envoie. Nous envoyons. Vous envoyez. Ils, elles envoient. I just want to make sure I'm doing those last ones correctly.
Vous envoyez. Ils, elles envoient.
Ils, elles envoient. Okay. It's always good to double check yourself. Always good. I know I am not perfect, and that's why I verify every time. So here, for many verbs that end in ELER or ETER, the final consonant is doubled before a silent E. Acheter, déceler, déceler. My bad. This is to discover. Geler, freeze. Allaiter, pant. Oh, to pant like a dog. Harceler, harass. Harceler, harceler. I want to hear this word in French.
Harceler.
Harceler. Okay, so it kind of sounds like harass. Harceler. All right. Modeler, peler. Okay, so model and to peel. Peler. Jeter is to jet. He jets, he throws away. Appeler, to call. But acheter, j'achète. So if you are going to buy, j'achète. Here, we can hear that one.
J'achète.
J'achète, j'achète, j'achète. If the final syllable of the word stem contains an E or E, we give it a grave accent, accent grave, in its conjugation, in its conjugated form, apart from the first and second person plural. Baiser, ouais, baiser. I'd like to hear this one too.
Peser. Peser.
Peser, peser, press, ponder, scale, think over its way. Peser. J'ai pesé, tu pesé, ils ont. Okay, I think these are going to be pronounced differently. Let's hear them all. Because I don't want to assume.
Je pèse, tu pèses, il, elle, on pèse, nous pesons, vous pesez, il, elle pèse.
So the word itself is difference. So I assume that this is the verb because the verb itself is weigh, I believe.
Peser, je pèse. Tu pèses. Il, elle.
So if you hear the difference at the very beginning there, peser,
Peser. Je pèse. Tu pèses. Il, elle. On pèse. Nous pesons. Vous pesez. Il, elle pèse.
okay. J'achète, acheter, so acheter, j'achète, tu achètes, il achetait, elle achète, nous achetons, vous achetez, ils achetons. Céder, to give in, verify that really quick. Let's just hear them all. Better to hear them all.
Céder. Je cède. Tu cèdes. Il, elle. On cède. Nous cédons. Vous cédez. Il, elle cède.
Okay, and that is to give in. Je cède, I give in. Tu cèdes, you give in. Il cède, he gives in, she gives in. Nous cédons, we give in. Vous cédez, you give in. Ils cédent, they give in. Verb aller is irregular. Aller, je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. So this is irregular. It changes its actual spelling. So there are some verbs that are irregular. We'll learn more about those as we go. Ir verbs. The majority of ir verbs belonging to type 1, which means that the plural form adds is before the present tense ending. So ending is, j'ai fini, j'agis. In which case, we should be able to grab these. That's funny. These ones don't have the translation. So,
Je finis, j'agis.
j'ai fini, I finish. J'agis, I act. So just so you can see, I finish, I act.
Je finis, j'agis.
Tu finis, tu agis. So you finish, you act. Il finit, elle agite, il agite. So they act, or she acts, he acts, or he finishes, she finishes. Nous finissons, we finish. Nous agissons is we act. Vous finissez, you finish. So this is a formal in case you aren't accustomed to that yet. The use of vous, V-O-U-Z, is the you formal version. Vous agissez is you act. Ils finissent, they finish. Elles agissent, they act. Many common verbs are conjugated in this way. Applaudir, to applaud. Choisir, to choose. Divertir, to amuse. Fleurir, to bloom. Grandir, to grow. Grossir, to put on weight. Guérir, to cure. Haire, to hate. I want to hear this one really quick because I don't think I've ever seen it spelt.
Haïr.
Haïr. Haïr. Okay, to hate is haïr. Maigrir, to lose weight. Nourrir, to nourish, feed. Obéir, to obey. Pâlir, to go pale. Punir, to punish. Punir, the finishing here, N-I-R, or N-I-R, which in French, I-R. Ralentir, to slow down. Remplir, to refill. Réjouir, to celebrate. Réunir, to meet. Réussir, to succeed. Rougir, to blush. Saisir, to grasp. Vieillir, to age. Vieillir, I think it's vieillir actually, let me verify.
Vieillir.
Vieillir, to grow old. Okay, yeah. IR verbs can be divided into two kinds: verbs that are conjugated in the same way as ER verbs, and verbs that are conjugated with ST in the regular forms. Okay. J'offre, je donne. J'offre, je donne. So this is dormir, to sleep. Offrir, to offer. Let me grab that really quick.
Offrir.
Offrir, to offer. Tu offres, il offre, nous offrons, vous offrez, ils offrent. Je donne, tu donnes, il donne, nous donnons, vous donnez, ils donnent. Okay, our E verbs will come down here. Here's also another one here, the venir, which is to come. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent. Je tiens, tu hold, tenir. Je tiens, tu tiens, il tient, nous tenons, vous tenez, il tiennent. Tien. I want to hear that one really quick because I feel like I say it improperly.
Elles tiennent.
Il tient. Il tient. Okay. All right. Construire is to construct, to build. Vivre is to live. Je vis, I live. Je construis, I build. Tu construis, you build. Tu vis, you live. Il construit, he builds or she builds. Il, elle, on vit. So, vit, he lives, they live, she lives. Nous construisons. I'm going to hear this one really quick.
Nous construisons.
Construisons. Stuisons. So thus, as they mentioned before, the S gets added. That was back up here, yes. Conjugated with S. Construisons. Nous vivons. Correct. That copy.
Nous vivons.
Nous vivons. Vous construisez. Construisez, because now we have the S. Construisez. Vous vivez. Ils construisons. Construisons. Ooh, actually, let me hear that.
Elles construisent.
Construisent. Yeah, we don't say the ENT. Ils vivent. Vive. Okay, ils vivent. Hear that one really quick.
Elles vivent.
Vive. Yep. Following verbs are conjugated in the same way as construire. Conduire, to drive. Cuire, to cook. Déduire, to deduce. Détruire, to destroy. Instruire, to instruct. Introduire, to introduce. Nuire, to harm. Produire, to produce. Reproduire, to reproduce. Réduire, to reduce. Séduire, to seduce. Traduire, to translate. Traduire, whenever you see like a translation, would be traduction. Following verbs are conjugated in the same way as vivre. Suivre, to follow. Poursuivre, to chase. Revivre, to relieve. Survivre, to survive. Verbs ending in eighth traditional spelling or eighth official spelling since 1990. There have been a lot of changes in French, such as connaître, connaître, paraître, paraître, to appear, so to know, to appear, naître, to be born, naître. And their variations such as reconnaître, to recognize, disparaître, to disappear, renaître, to be reborn, are conjugated as follows. Connaître, je connais, tu connais, il connaît, nous connaissons, vous connaissez, ils connaissent. Many verbs that end in il, boire, croire, dire, écrire, faire, lire, plaire, rire are irregular and change their stem in the plural form. There is no general rule to learn the conjugation of these verbs. It's best to learn them by heart. So that means it's going to be even more difficult to keep these ones in mind. But hey, once you get the hang of it and you get used to it, it helps out in the long run. Bois, je bois, tu bois, il boit, nous buvons, vous buvez, ils boivent. What? Boivent? I think it's boivent, actually. Let's verify.
Elles boivent.
Boivent. C'est elles boivent. In which case, they drink. Bois. Bois is to drink. Croire, to believe. Je crois, tu crois, il croit, nous croyons, vous croyez, il croit. Écrit, j'écris, tu écris, il écrit, nous écrivons, vous écrivez, il écrivait. écrivent. No, just ils écrivent. Ils écrivent. Gotta have the liaison because it starts with a vowel. Ils écrivent. Elles écrivent. Je lis, tu lis, il en lit, il elle lit, nous lisons, vous lisez, ils lisons, ils lisons. I want to hear this one specifically. This is to read? Yeah, to read.
Je lis, tu lis, il, elle, on lit. Nous lisons, vous lisez, il, elle lisent.
Okay, and then verbs ending in DRE and TRE. Je vends, vendre is to sell, mettre is to place. Je vends, je mets, tu vends, tu mets, ils vendent, ils mettent, nous vendons, nous mettons, vous vendez, vous mettez, ils vendent, ils vendent. The verb prendre, to take, and its related forms apprendre, comprendre, and s'apprendre, which are to learn, understand, and surprise. Apprendre, comprendre, s'apprendre. Lose the D in their plural form. So that D is going to disappear in the plural form. In addition, the N is doubled in the ils, elles form. Prendre. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent. Verbs that end in ont, attendre, to wait, craindre, to fear, éteindre, to turn off, joindre, to combine, peindre, to paint, plaindre, to pity, teindre, to die. Let's hear these ones specifically. I just want to make sure that the pronunciation is coming through.
Atteindre, craindre, éteindre, joindre, peindre, plaindre, teindre.
Okay. Peint, je peins, tu peins. Let's go ahead and hear this really quick because I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly as well.
Peindre, je peins, tu peins, il, elle, on peint. Nous peignons, vous peignez, il, elle peignent.
Il, elle, peigner. All right. And then we're going on to the OIR verbs. Recevoir, apercevoir, concevoir, décevoir, percevoir. So we have recevoir to receive, apercevoir to glimpse, concevoir to design, décevoir to disappoint, percevoir to perceive. And they're conjugated as follows. Je reçois, tu reçois, on reçoit, nous recevons, vous recevez, ils reçoivent. Ils reçoivent, soit. So they receive. The verbs avoir, devoir, mouvoir, pouvoir, savoir, voir, and vouloir are irregular and are not conjugated in the same way as recevoir. So we have a page for that as well. Again, if you want to take a look at this, this is all on Lingolia, in which case I'll scroll to the top at the very end here just to verify the spelling. Avoir, to have, devoir, must, mouvoir, to move, pouvoir, to be able to, and savoir, to know, voir, to see, and vouloir, to want. Irregular verbs, avoir, être, aller, and faire. Actually, you know what? Let's make sure. Yeah, okay. Avoir, être, aller, faire. So avoir is to have, être is to be, aller is to go, and faire is to do. So these are our main verbs that we'll see all throughout French. So anytime that you're talking, 90% of the time you're going to be referencing one of these verbs. J'ai is to say I have. Je suis, I am. Je vais, I go. Je fais, I do. Tu as, you have. Tu es, you are. Tu vas, you go. Tu fais, you do. Il a, he has or she has. Il, elle est, so he, she is. Il, elle va, he, she goes. Il, elle fait, he, she does. Nous avons is saying we have. Nous sommes, we are. Nous allons, we go. Nous faisons is we do. Vous avez, you have. Vous êtes, you are. Vous allez, you went, you go. Yeah, you go as well, my bad. Vous faites, is you do. So this is just the formal version. I don't know why I got confused with that, with the two. I use two way too often, in which case I should be using vous. I need to retrain myself on that. Ils ont, elles ont, in which case we have ils ont, and then we have ils sont. So it's kind of confusing with this one if we don't have the full ear for it yet. Let me grab this. And we'll do this. Put this here.
Ils, elles ont-ils, elles sont.
So let me comma there. Let's keep it simple.
Ils ont, ils sont.
Ils ont, ils sont. So there's like the slight difference. One's a liaison and the other one is carrying into the S itself. Ils vont, elles font. Same situation. Vont, font. The present continué, also known as the present progressive, or the present durative, is the French equivalent of the present progressive in English. I am doing, he is going. Like its English counterpart, it demonstrates that an action or event is in progress at the moment of speaking. The present continue is formed as follows. Être est en train de, an infinitive. Nous sommes en train de dîner. We're having dinner. Les joueurs sont en train de perdre le match. The players are losing the match. Les joueurs sont en train de perdre le match. Je suis en train de repeindre ma chambre. Repeindre ma chambre. Right, and we have some online exercises here, in which case these are locked actually because of the fact that they are part of Lingolia Plus. So I don't use Lingolia Plus, I just use the free version of the site. And again, that's Lingolia Francais, and you can have it just in your browser, Francais Lingolia. Now, I do appreciate you following along. Something that I like to share with everybody as well is another way to learn French is this book here. It is the Method Nature, Le Français par la Method Nature, in which case, let's see, what time is it right now? Okay, you know what? I'm going to do 2.5 minutes of just reading this, just to give us some more time here, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it done. So with this, we follow Les Duclos. Madame Duclos, Monsieur Duclos, Jean, un garçon, Henry, un garçon, Yvonne, une fille, Nicole, une fille, une femme, Madame Duclos, Monsieur Duclos, un homme. So this is a good way to teach yourself by learning things naturally. Monsieur Duclos est un homme. Madame Duclos est une femme. Jean est un garçon et Henry est un garçon. Jean et Henry sont deux garçons. So this is saying that Jean and Henry are two boys, garçons. Nicole est une fille, un girl, et Yvonne est aussi une fille. Nicole and Yvonne are girls. Nicole et Yvonne sont deux filles. They are two girls. Minet est un chat. So Minet, the cat is a cat. Minet is a cat. Médor est un chien. Médor. Fido is aussi un chien. So they have Fido or Fido. In the US, we usually say Fido. Médor et Fido sont deux chiens. Médor c'est un chien? Oui, c'est un chien. Minet c'est aussi un chien. Non, c'est un chat. Fido c'est un chien? Oui, c'est un chien. Monsieur Duclos, est-ce un homme? Oui, c'est un homme. Madame Duclos, est-ce une femme? Oui, c'est une femme. Jean, est-ce aussi une femme? Non, c'est un garçon. Yvonne, est-ce aussi un garçon? Non, c'est une fille. Henry, est-ce un garçon? Oui, c'est un garçon. Les garçons, c'est Jean. La fille, c'est Nicole. Le chien, c'est son Médo et Fido. Qui est la femme? C'est Madame Duclos. Qui est l'homme? L'homme, c'est Monsieur Duclos. Qui sont les deux chiens? Les deux chiens, ce sont Médo et Fido. So they are les deux chiens, the two dogs, they are Médo et Fido. Qui est le garçon? Who is the garçon? Le garçon, c'est Jean. Qui est la fille? Who is the girl? C'est Nicole. Qui sont les Duclos? Ce sont Monsieur et Madame Duclos. Les deux garçons, John et Henry, et les deux filles, Nicole et Yvonne. John a un chien and Nicole a aussi un chien. That means John has a dog and Nicole has also a dog. Medo est le chien de John et Fido est le chien de Nicole. Yvonne est un chat Minette est le chat de Yvonne. Medo est le chien d'Henry? No, c'est le chien de John. So that's the question. Medo is the dog of Henry? No, it's the dog of John. Minette est le chat de Nicole? Non, c'est le chat d'Yvonne. Fido est le chien de Nicole? Oui, c'est le chien de Nicole. L'homme est Monsieur Duclos? Oui, c'est Monsieur Duclos. La femme est Madame Duclos? Oui, c'est Madame Duclos. Monsieur Duclos est le père de Jean. Jean est la fille de Monsieur Duclos. Henry est aussi le fils de Monsieur Duclos. Monsieur Duclos est le père de Nicole et d'Yvonne. Nicole et Yvonne sont les filles de Monsieur Duclos. Monsieur Duclos a deux filles. Il a aussi deux filles. Madame Duclos est la mère de Jean, de Henry, de Nicole et d'Yvonne. Madame Duclos a deux filles. Elle a aussi deux filles. Jean a-t-il un père? Oui, il a un père. Qui est le père de Jean? C'est Monsieur Duclos. Monsieur Duclos a-t-il désolé, sorry. Monsieur Duclos a-t-il deux filles? Oui, il a deux filles. Qui sont les filles de Monsieur Duclos? Ce sont Jean et Henry. Yvonne est-elle une mère? Oui, elle a une mère. Qui est la mère d'Yvonne? C'est Madame Duclos. Madame Duclos a-t-elle, as her, deux filles et deux filles? Oui, elle a deux filles et deux filles. Qui sont les filles et les filles de Monsieur et Madame Duclos? Ce sont Jean, Henry, Nicole et Yvonne. Le fils is the boys et les filles, the girls. Jean est le frère de Nicole. Nicole est le sœur de Jean. Nicole est aussi le sœur de Henry et d'Yvonne. Elle a deux frères et une sœur. So it is saying Henry is the brother of John and Nicole and Yvonne, and he has two sisters and one brother. Sœurs, sisters, frère, brother. Jean et Henry ont deux sœurs. Ils ont aussi un père et une mère. Nicole et Yvonne ont deux frères et elles ont aussi un père et une mère. Jean et Henry ont-ils deux sœurs? Oui, ils ont deux sœurs. Nicole et Yvonne ont-elles un père? Oui, elles ont un père. Ont-elles aussi une mère? Oui, elles ont une mère. Mon sœur et Madame Duclos ont-ils deux filles et deux filles, deux fils et deux filles? Oui, ils ont deux fils et deux filles. Nicole et Jean ont-ils un frère et une sœur? Oui, elles ont un frère et une sœur. Qui sont-ils? Who are they? Qui sont-ils? Désolé. Sorry. Qui sont-ils? Ce sont Henry et Yvonne. Médor et Fido, sont-ils les chiens de Henry? Non, Médor et Fido ne sont pas les chiens de Henry. Médor est le chien de Jean et Fido est le chien de Nicole. Jean et Henry sont-ils deux hommes? Non, ce ne sont pas deux hommes. No, they are not two men. Ce sont deux garçons. They are two boys. Nicole et Yvonne sont-ce aussi deux garçons? Non, ce ne sont pas deux garçons. Ce sont deux filles. They are two girls. John est le père de Henry? Non, ce n'est pas le père de Henry. C'est le frère de Henry. It is the brother. He is not the father. He is the brother. Yvonne est la mère de Nicole? Non, ce n'est pas la mère de Nicole. C'est la sœur de Nicole. Nicole a-t-elle un chat? Non, elle n'a pas un chat. Elle a un chien. She has a dog. She doesn't have a cat. She has a dog. Yvonne et Henry n'ont pas deux sœurs. Henry a un frère et deux sœurs. Yvonne a deux frères et une sœur. All right. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll probably do some more of this tomorrow if you want to continue on with me. In the meantime, if you want to study by yourself, you can always use Lingolia Français to learn more French, or you can pick up the book Le Français par la méthode Nature